A very good morning. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya Kapoor, and here are the headlines. Discussion slated on Muslim women protection of rights on Marriage Bill 2018 in Lok Sabha. Bill seeks to make instant triple talaq illegal. Provision for 3 years imprisonment. Bill seeking to prevent trafficking of persons on agenda in Rajya Sabha. 2 bills related to education sector reforms and bill to allow proxy voting for overseas Indians also in the today's list of business in the upper house. And Home Minister's statement on calling attention on cyclones listed in Rajya Sabha. Discussion on natural calamities slated in Lok Sabha under Rule 193. Both houses of parliament resumed today after the Christmas break. In the Lok Sabha, the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill is scheduled to be taken up for consideration and passing. The National Medical Council Amendment Bill 2018 has also been listed along with the National Medical Commission Bill 2017 in the lower house. And in the Rajya Sabha, the Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018 and 2 bills related to education sector reforms are listed for consideration and passing. The Representation of the People Amendment Bill 2018 is also listed in today's business. The Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2018 is listed in the Lok Sabha's list of business, and a discussion is slated today on the bill that was introduced in the lower house on 17th of December. The bill seeks to protect the rights of married Muslim women and to prohibit divorce by pronouncing talaq by their husbands. The bill will replace the ordinance that was promulgated on 19th of September. It makes all declaration of talaq, including it in written or electronic form, to be void and illegal. It also makes declaration of talaq a cognizable offence, attracting up to 3 years imprisonment with a fine. Our reporter Kriti Mishra is now joining us live from Parliament. Kriti, now triple talaq bill is to be taken up by Lok Sabha after tweaks, and we understand that a 4-hour debate is slated to begin at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And the BJP has also asked its lawmakers to be present in full strength. So it will be very interesting to see whether the bill will be passed by the Lok Sabha today.
Well, you may recall, Aishwarya, that even before the commencement of the winter session of Parliament, the government had clarified that the anti-triple talaq bill, the passage of this crucial bill, would be absolutely necessary in this session and would also be the priority of the government. We've seen how the Supreme Court had struck down the practice of triple talaq in August 2017 and had also instructed the government to bring a law to govern marriage and divorce in the Muslim community within 6 months. We also saw that in the earlier sessions also the government did bring the anti-triple talaq bill, but there was no consensus. Even after the Supreme Court struck down this practice, we've seen that more than 400 cases have been reported since January 2017 and more than 48 cases have been reported since the Supreme Court struck down this practice. So the government has tried to reach out to all the political parties to develop a consensus on this crucial issue. And the government has already said that this bill is absolutely necessary for justice and equity. So it remains to be seen whether this crucial bill sees the light of the day. And as you've already mentioned, that the BJP has already issued 3-line whip to the members to be present in the House when this crucial bill is taken up for discussion and passage. Aishwarya?
And Kriti, of course, as the House reassembles after a 5-day-long break, in Rajya Sabha again, the government has listed 4 bills for discussion and voting. And Home Minister Rajya Singh is also going to make a statement regarding devastation caused by cyclones Rajya and Titli.
Well, yes, Aishwarya, you've seen that repeated disruptions have actually paralyzed the proceedings of the House since December 12th. And these disruptions came despite repeated assurances from Chairman M.K. Naidu that discussion on all the issues would be allowed under relevant rules and procedures. The government has also expressed its willingness to take up all the issues, including the Rafale deal on the floor of the House, despite getting a clean chit from the Supreme Court. And as far as the Kaveri issue is concerned, there are reports that the centre will hold meeting with Chief Ministers of Tamil Nadu and also Karnataka to find some resolution to the issue of Meghdadu Dam on the Kaveri River. So now the government is hopeful that the House would function, and there are important bills lined up like the NCTE Amendment Bill, the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Bill, the Representation of People Amendment Bill, and there's also very crucial anti-trafficking bills slated to be taken up in the Rajya Sabha today. Aishwarya?
Right, Kriti. Thank you so much for all those updates there. And also in the Rajya Sabha today, the Minister of Home Affairs is slated to make a statement in response to the calling attention motion on the issue of situation arising due to devastation caused by cyclones Gaja and Titli in some states. The issue was raised by Dr. V. Maitrian on the 18th of this month. The calling attention was to know the action also taken by the government with regard to the destruction. And in the Lok Sabha, a discussion under Rule 193 is slated today on natural calamities in various parts of the country, particularly in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, with special reference to cyclones Gaja and Titli. Bhartrihari Mahatab and Dr. P. Venugopal are slated to initiate the discussion. Union Minister Maneka Gandhi is slated to move the Trafficking of Persons Prevention, Protection and Rehabilitation Bill 2018 in the Rajya Sabha today. The bill seeks to prevent trafficking of persons, especially women and children. It also seeks to provide care, protection and rehabilitation to the victims of trafficking and to prosecute offenders. It also provides for the establishment of investigation and rehabilitation authorities at the district, state and national level. Anti-trafficking units will be established to rescue victims and to investigate cases of trafficking. The bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. And HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar is slated to move the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Amendment Bill 2018 in the Upper House. The bill seeks to further amend the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009. It has been passed by the Lok Sabha. And HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar is also slated to move the National Council for Teacher Education Amendment Bill 2018 in the Rajya Sabha. The bill seeks to further amend the National Council for Teacher Education Act of 1993. It has been passed by the Lok Sabha. And Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad is slated to move the Representation of the People Amendment Bill 2018 in the Rajya Sabha. The bill seeks to further amend the Representation of the People Act 1950 and the Representation of the People Act 1951 to allow for proxy voting and to make certain provision of the acts gender neutral. It has been passed by the Lok Sabha. And also in the Rajya Sabha today, Sushma Swaraj is slated to move for leave to withdraw the Nalanda University Amendment Bill 2013. The bill seeks to amend the Nalanda University Act of 2010. And in the lower house are the following bills. Health Minister J.P. Nadda will move the Indian Medical Council Amendment Bill 2018. The bill seeks to further amend the Indian Medical Council Act of 1956. And J.P. Nadda will also move the National Medical Commission Bill 2017. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the Companies Amendment Bill 2018. The bill seeks to further amend the Companies Act 2013. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will move the New Delhi International Arbitration Centre Bill 2018. And obituary references will be made in the Rajya Sabha. References will be made to the passing away of ex-members N. Rajangam and Jai Narayan Prasad Nishad. And the following ministers will lay papers in the Rajya Sabha today. Anand Gite for the Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. Jitendra Singh for the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space. Hardeep Singh Puri for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Krishan Pal for the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Sudarshan Bhagat for the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Virendra Kumar for the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Babul Supriyo for the Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. And Satyapal Singh for the Ministry of Human Resource Development. And the following questions will be raised in the Rajya Sabha, for which ministers concerned will give replies. Here are a few of them. Anil Desai will ask the Minister of External Affairs what punitive economic military sanctions have been imposed during the last 3 years in view of Pakistan's unabated terrorist activities against India. Surendra Singh Nagar will ask the Minister of Women and Child Development whether it is a fact that there has been an increase in the incidence of trafficking of women and children during the last 3 years, and if so, the details thereof year-wise and the reasons therefore. Sanjay Singh's question will be to the Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. He will ask the details of a post-matric scholarship scheme for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward class students. Abhishek Manu Singhvi's question will be to the Minister of Planning. He will ask what has been the progress of Niti Aayog in working on artificial intelligence. Sukhram Singh Yadav's question will be to the Minister of Women and Child Development. He will ask the details of the deaths of children below the age group of 5 years due to malnutrition during the last 3 years in the country. That's it in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to begin in a short while from now, right at 11 a.m. Thanks for watching.